Kung Fu Luffy debuted originally on the line version of OPTC, but then debuted on OPTC Global on the 31st of July 2018. This character was an interesting release, as the character was thought to never make an appearance on One Piece Treasure Cruise Global or Japan, but somehow was shoehorned into the French Anniversary Sugo-Fest of 2018. His captain ability was similar to other Luffys of the past, such as Gear 3 and Log Luffy. This character then had a reasonable special that provided some matching slots, provided an attack boost, and also significant damage reduction, which allowed for both offensive and defensive playstyles. Introducing, to become a true Kung Fu master, Monkey D. Luffy. In this series, we'll be traveling back in time to experience some of the older Sugo-Fest exclusive characters in their prime, aiming to show just what it was like to use these characters on their debut. I hope you enjoy the video, and without further ado, let's enter the Legends of OPTC. So thank you very much for checking out another episode of the Legends of OPTC, and in this episode we're checking out a secondary legend that debuted alongside the previous week's video with Luffy and Ace, and that character is Kung Fu Luffy. A bit of an odd release. This character originally debuted on the line version of One Piece Treasure Cruise, which is kind of like a Taiwanese version, like a subsidiary version of the game, and this was a character that just randomly released on that game, and a lot of people just thought that this was a character that was never ever going to see the light of day on One Piece Treasure Cruise Global or Japan for that matter, but for some reason when Global had their French Anniversary Sugo-Fest with Luffy and Ace, they just decided to randomly put this character alongside it. It was so bizarre, and it is just weird to look at because the character artwork, it's definitely a little bit less desirable than some of the other Sugo-Fest exclusives that you may have seen in the game. Definitely needed a bit of work. So his Kung Fu Luffy, of course, only arrived on Global, currently not accessible on Japan, and it looks like will never ever be accessible on the Japanese version of the game. But Kung Fu Luffy, a Dex fighter free spirit with a captain ability that would provide a 3.5 times attack boost to all characters after the second perfect in a row, and then it will be a 4 times attack boost after 5 perfects in a row. So 3.5 times attack, but then the final character will get a 4 times attack boost after you hit those perfects. And also providing a 1.5 health boost is obviously really good, making him just way more tankier than usual compared to other legends. So looking at this captain ability, it's like a pseudo Gear 3 Log Luffy kind of captain ability. And you know, he actually still sees a little bit of play today. A lot of people are big fans of Kung Fu Luffy just because of the meme of the character, but I mean, he's obviously not got a good captain ability when you compare it to some of the characters that are releasing in 2022. Another thing that made him kind of interesting with his crewmate ability, he does add tap timing bonus damage with his crewmate effect, so a lot of people will use him as a crewmate just for this alone, but also making deck slots beneficial to all characters is nothing to scoff at. And then a special ability, 14 turn cooldown, 120 times his attack and typeless damage to all enemies, changes orbs of adjacent slots into matching, and boosts the attack of all characters by 1.75 times for 2 turns, so he is his crew's own dedicated attack booster, which is great. He also reduces any damage received above 5,656 HP by 97% for 2 turns, so you can tank death hits with his special ability, and he also makes perfects easier to hit for the next 2 turns as well, allowing you to, you know, basically use his captain ability to full effect, so you can maintain your perfects, hit those high multipliers, alongside an attack boost and tanking damage. This character on release was very good. Definitely was used a lot on release as well. The only real problem is he's a Luffy character, so you can't really use this guy alongside some of the other really powerful Luffy legends, or the good Luffy characters just in general, so that was probably the biggest downside to the unit. But I mean, across the board, a very, very good captain and a good special ability that saw a lot of play. And then of course he has a really interesting support effect, which people on the Japanese version of the game are not going to get access to, attaching to any of the Straw Hats minus Jinbei, because Jinbei was not an official Straw Hat at that point. But it says once per adventure, when you use a special of the supported character, you get adjacent slots matching and easy perfects for 1 turn. Sometimes this support has come in super clutch just to generate slots for free whenever you use another Straw Hat special. Yeah, Kung Fu Luffy is a pretty solid unit overall, and when you compare him at this release time compared to some of the other characters that were surrounding He's actually fitting in quite well and is a very powerful unit at the time. Alright, so we've got 3 different pieces of content, and we're going back to Clash this time around. We've got 2 relatively easy clashes with Bellamy and Virgo, but we've also got Clash Lucci, which is definitely a little bit more challenging than the other 2. If I would have a choice, I would probably just say landing on Lucci would be best case scenario here, so let's go ahead and spin that wheel and see what kind of Clash event we're going to be taking Log Luffy? No, it's going to be Kung Fu Luffy into today, and it is going to be that Clash Lucci, which is good. That's exactly what we wanted to see. A little bit more difficult than the other 2, so that's completely fine. So let's go ahead and have Luffy versus Lucci today in the Legends of OPTC. And here we are in game with Kung Fu Luffy, the Straw Hat Pirates captain practicing his Kung Fu. He has a renewed passion towards being King of the Pirates. There's only room in this world for one King of the Pirates. You can even just see from the flavor text, this character does not have a lot of thought put into it. It's a very bare bones, basic artwork, basic looking skills and character set. It's nothing really too amazing, but the one that I have here does have additional cotton candy and stuff. I don't have a duplicate because all the dupes that I did have, I fed into it for level limit break. So you can see that I only have it at level 2, so it's not going to get much higher than that unless if I feed posters into it, but I'm not really expecting him to receive level limit break updates. I assume that this is about as good as he's ever going to get in One Piece Treasure Cruise. But this is the team that we have today. Of course, we're up against Clash Lucci. He's an int boss. We want to be bringing predominantly Psy characters, and that's what we're doing today. We have Luffy as our attack booster, we have Judge as our orb booster, we've got Hancock as a chain locker, we've got Shirahoshi to give us matching slots, because Clash Lucci was one of the more difficult quests in terms of getting matching slots, as you guys will see throughout this quest. And then also got Nami, because we have to deal with Special Bind, and she's just a really good character for doing that. So this is a pretty basic team. I don't think this should be too challenging, but let's go ahead and run the set. Let's go ahead and take on Clash Lucci. Want to give a huge shout out to TheLordShiro for providing us with his friend Captain Kung Fu Luffy, and we're ready to go against Clash Lucci Ultimate Radius. Here we go. Let's go ahead and get this party started with Kung Fu Luffy, a fan favorite in the One Piece Treasure Cruise community. And here we are in game now, and we're ready to go. And one of the cool things about using Shirahoshi is we get the full board of rainbow slots to start the quest, which is wicked. And of course, we do have to get a lot of cooldowns, so let's go ahead and get that started. We are going to take a pretty decent amount of damage here, and we don't really want to do that. But of course, one of the cool things about Luffy is that, you know, as long as you hit 2 perfects, the rest of your characters get 3.5 times attack for the rest of the turn. And the cool thing is even if you screw up your combat chain, it's not like, you know, with Gear 3 Luffy, in a sense, or like, you know, like Trafalgar Law V1 was a bit weird like that, where, you know, as long as you consistently hit the perfects, you kept getting your really good attack boost. But even if you screw up after your 2 perfects, you're actually able to still maintain a pretty high attack boost, which is really good. So your first 2 characters don't really do a lot of damage, but then the rest of the crew has the 3.5. And then essentially, if you hit all your perfects, the last character hits for extremely hard damage of 4 times attack. So that's obviously a huge benefit. So we get really good stall off here, which is great because all of our characters have actually really high cooldowns, and we actually really want to get the ship special ready to go as well. You guys will see as to why that's important a little bit later on. So we could have probably consumed that recovery slot there. Let's go ahead and kill that. We'll leave this turtle here. This turtle's fine to just sit here. We can just do our stall. And it's kind of interesting with Kung Fu Luffy because Kung Fu Luffy, I guess, was kind of like the first legend to be like a special event version of a character. You know, we've seen Christmas characters before, Halloween characters come out before, but as a Sugo-Fest exclusive, there weren't really many characters that strayed into the themes of, you know, different celebrations. And Kung Fu Luffy wasn't really a celebration in any sense, but it was just interesting to see Luffy in a different kind of skin for his Sugo-Fest exclusive. So I think it's super interesting, but it is kind of a shame that this character didn't really receive a lot of support and was kind of like a throwaway character that they decided to give out, because he's actually pretty good. And I mean, if he had get like a Super Evolution or Limit Break expansion or, you know, the level limit break, this character could actually be insanely powerful. Now, the thing that I'm kind of concerned with right now is Shirahoshi and the ship special. We'll go ahead and kill the seahorse. And we'll kill this guy. Then we've got the red guy. We probably want to deal with him as well. And then we've got a lobster, crab, and a turtle. So those guys are going to give us a pretty good amount of cooldown. Go ahead and kill him. And then we have the crab, the turtle, and the lobster to deal with. And we're not really too concerned about taking that much damage from here on out. Like, I'm pretty content. We don't really have to worry about our HP, especially because when we get to the last stage, we're just going to be burst killing in one turn anyway, so that's not really too concerning. We'll be able to eat one of these recovery slots here, give us a little bit of HP back. The lobster does hit for a pretty decent amount, but after stage 2, so when you hit stage 3 and onwards, that's where things get a little bit dicey against Clash Lucci, as you guys are going to see here. So let's go ahead and eat some recovery slots once again. And our specials are pretty much good to go. Like, we do not need to stall anymore. So let's go ahead and move on to the next stage, which is going to be Battle 3. So Battle 3, we have a couple of different mobs. So this guy puts up a barrier. We get badly matching slots, which is obviously not very ideal. He has a great barrier. And if you don't kill within 3 turns, you're pretty much dead. So the thing is, we have 2 versions of Kung Fu Luffy here, so we can save one for the final stage, we can have one for right now, because he does really good AoE damage. And another thing that's kind of interesting as to why this character is kind of a throwaway is that special animation that you guys just saw, I believe, is the exact same special animation for Gear 3 Luffy, just with obviously the different outfit. So it just goes to show how much effort was really put into this character. Now, we do have to hit 2 greats in order to pierce it, but we do also have this buff, which makes perfects easier to hit. So I think that could actually kind of screw us up. I didn't actually think about that. I guess we kind of just got to get lucky, and hopefully we can kill. Alright, let's get it. Dude, I cannot hit through this. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. And we get badly matching slots again. Alright, let's do it. Let's hit our 2 goods, 2 perfects. Great. Okay. We need to kill in this turn. Now, it is kind of good for us here that we don't have... Okay, he's enraged. We need to kill him now. Now, luckily for us right now, perfects are not easier to hit, so that's going to mean we can actually get through it a little bit cleaner. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Whew, that was a little stressful, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Luffy, we love you, but sometimes hitting perfects a little bit easier isn't always the best thing. Okay, so once again, if we don't kill in 3 turns, we're dead. But luckily for us, we should be able to get through without too many hassles. Now, one of the really annoying things about this stage is that all of these mobs have 5 combo hits. They're relatively high defense. Normally, you could just bring a character to deal with that, like a wave clearer, like a fixed damage dealer. But because of the characters we have on our team, we want to use them for very specific roles. So we don't really have a way to deal with that. But we do have the ship special, which is going to knock all of their HP down by 1, meaning that they have 4 combo hits, meaning that any character with a regular normal attack will knock them out. And if we attack the guy in the top right-hand corner through the regular, the chain of attacks, it'll mean that the last character to die is going to be this guy right here. We should have the highest multiplier, and it should work pretty well in our favor. So all we have to do is hit our perfects, and we should be good to go to the final stage. Let's get it. Oh my god, I missed! I hit a great. But luckily for us, he doesn't do anything, so we're fine. We still got through it. No matter what, we were fine. No matter. It's all good. We do get special minded though, which is why we brought Nami. It's going to be very, very important because otherwise we have to stall a turn, and I don't really want to do that. We've already done plenty of stall, so we don't have to worry about that. But this is one of the reasons is why Rob Lucci is very annoying to deal with, is because he does give you bomb slots and tandem slots, and essentially if you activate any type of effect that changes your slots around, he's going to go ahead and give you these slots again. He's a really oppressive guy. I believe, after a couple of turns, you'll get your natural slots back and you can deal with it through beneficial slots, but we're going to go ahead and use Shirahoshi because obviously she'll change slots into Rainbow and the enemy cannot manipulate your Rainbow slots around. So that's going to be a huge benefit to us and why Shirahoshi is one of the best characters to use in this fight. So we've used Nami to unlock the special bind. Shirahoshi will change all of our slots into Rainbow. He will, I think, go ahead and remove beneficial effects, but that really doesn't matter at this point. So that's perfect. Lucci's going to react to that. That's completely okay. And now we can go ahead and launch the rest of our skills. So let's go ahead and use Boa Hancock, which is going to give us a 2.5 times chain lock for 1 turn, 2 turns. Then we could go ahead and use the Judge special, which is going to give us a 2 times orb boosting effect to our whole team, which is fantastic. Really cool character, I love Judge. And then we can use the Luffy special, which is going to give us the 1.75 times attack boost to our crew. So we have the attack boost, orb boost, and a chain lock. And as long as we hit our perfects, hopefully it's enough to take down Rob Lucci. So without further ado, here we go. There we go. Easy does it. 8.3 million damage. Not too bad. Not too bad with a pretty basic attack orb chain effect. 8.3 million. Not too bad with the Kung Fu Luffy. Very, very impressive. Got through it pretty quickly. You know, there was a little bit of stalling we had to do at the start, but, you know, nothing really too difficult, which is fantastic. And that's going to bring about the end of yet another episode of The Legends of OPTC. Now, in next week's video, we're going to be covering a really awesome Sugo-Fest exclusive character, and that is going to be V2 Shanks. He's going to be a very, very powerful unit that we get to go ahead and showcase, and definitely as we head into the following weeks, we're going to be covering some pretty powerful characters, some fan favorites, that's for sure. So hopefully you guys are very much looking forward to the next set of episodes of The Legends of OPTC. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video today, and if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.